The glass was already halfway to his lips when I leaned in and whispered, "Ne buvez pas, don't drink." My sister laughed behind me, loud, sharp, cruel. "Relax," she said to her friends. "She's just a waitress." The general froze. 4 stars on his shoulders, decades of command in his eyes. And yet in that moment he looked at me like I had just reached through his past and pulled something buried to the surface. "Oracle," he said quietly. I didn't smile. I didn't blink. 5 minutes later, military police stormed the Gala, and my sister stopped laughing. I didn't always wear a black apron and carry trays like I was invisible. There was a time when I wore silk instead of polyester, when my name opened doors instead of being ignored at them. Back when my sister, Alina, used to hold my hand in crowded rooms instead of pushing me into them alone. We were close once. Too close. After our parents died, I trusted her with everything. Money, decisions, my future. She was older. Smarter, I thought. Stronger. I believed she was protecting me. I didn't notice when protection turned into control. It started with small things. "Let me handle the finances," she said. "You're too emotional for business." I agreed. I was grieving. I wanted to trust someone. Months passed. Then years. My accounts shrank. Her lifestyle expanded. New car, new house. New friends who never looked at me unless they needed someone to refill their wine. I asked questions once. Just once. She smiled, cold, controlled. "Everything is under control," she said. "Don't ruin what we have." So I stayed quiet. Until the night I saw the document. It wasn't meant for me. A folder left open on her desk. Careless. Or maybe she thought I'd never look. I always noticed details. That was my flaw. And my strength. My name was on the page. But the signature wasn't mine. Property transfers. Investments liquidated. Accounts closed. Every asset our parents left, redirected. To her. Legally airtight. Forged perfectly. Except for one thing. She forgot I used to study languages, patterns, codes. The signature wasn't just fake. It was copied from a document written in French. A letter I had signed years ago. In Paris, when we still trusted each other. She thought I wouldn't remember. She was wrong. I didn't confront her. That's what she expected. Emotion, tears, accusations, weakness. Instead, I smiled. And I started planning. I took the job as a waitress at the military club 3 months later. Not because I needed the money. Because I needed access. Alina's new circle wasn't random. It was strategic. Defense contractors, officers, men who moved power quietly. She had inserted herself into their world using my stolen wealth. But she didn't understand the rules of that world. I did. Because I listened. Every night. Every conversation. Every name. Every whispered deal behind polished smiles. And then I heard it. The general. A decorated man with a reputation for precision and paranoia, and a habit of accepting drinks from the wrong people, including my sister. The plan came together slowly, piece by piece. I didn't need to destroy her directly. I just needed to remove the illusion she built around herself, expose the one mistake she couldn't control. Back to the Gala. Crystal chandeliers, polished marble, uniforms and gowns. Alina stood at the center, radiant in stolen light. She saw me, smirked. "Try not to embarrass me," she whispered as I passed. I almost laughed. Embarrassment was the least of her concerns. The drink was already prepared. A subtle alteration. Not deadly. Just enough to trigger an investigation, but only if the right person noticed. That's why I whispered in French. Because years ago, in a classified operation no one publicly acknowledged, the general had worked with a French intelligence unit. They used a code word. Oracle. A warning. A signal that something unseen was wrong. I wasn't guessing. I was certain. When he said it back to me, I knew the plan had worked. His eyes sharpened. His instincts took over. He didn't drink. He signaled. And within minutes, the room shifted. Doors closed. Music stopped. Military police entered like a storm contained in human form. Calm, efficient, final. Alina laughed at first. "Is this some kind of joke?" No one answered her. They moved past her. Straight to the bar. To the staff. To the records. And then to her. Because her name was already in the system. Flagged. Connected. I made sure of that. Anonymous reports. Financial discrepancies. Quiet tips placed exactly where they needed to be. All leading here. This moment. Her face changed when they said her full name, not the one she used at parties. The real one. The one tied to everything she thought she had erased. She looked at me then, not with arrogance, not with control, but with something I hadn't seen in years. Fear. You did this, she said. Not a question. A realization. I stepped closer, set the tray down. No, I said softly. You did. They took her away in silence. No drama, no screaming. Just the quiet collapse of a carefully constructed life. Her friends didn't follow. They never do. I stayed until the end of my shift. Polished glasses, cleaned tables, finished what I started. Because control isn't about the moment of impact. It's about everything leading up to it. Later, I stood outside under the cold night air. The city hummed like nothing had changed. But everything had. I wasn't a waitress. I was never just anything. I was patient. I was precise. And I remembered everything. People think revenge is loud, explosive, messy. They're wrong. The best kind is quiet. It waits. It listens. And when it moves, it doesn't miss. I walked away without looking back, because there was nothing left to see. Only something I finally understood. She didn't betray me when she took the money. She betrayed herself when she thought I wouldn't notice. And that was her biggest mistake.